Imagine a civilization so advanced, so prosperous, that it vanished without a trace, swallowed by the sea in a single catastrophic day. This isn't just a fantasy. It's the core of the enduring legend of Atlantis, a story whispered through millennia. For centuries, people have sought this mythical island, believing it hides secrets of ancient wisdom and lost technology beneath the waves. But what if the tale of Atlantis isn't purely fiction? What if it's an echo, a distorted memory of a very real, devastating event? We're going to explore the origins of this captivating myth, delve into the geological realities that inspire such tales, and pinpoint a specific historical catastrophe that might just be the blueprint for the world's most famous lost land. In just a few minutes, you'll discover the shocking connection between an ancient Greek philosopher's story and a cataclysmic natural disaster. Humanity has always been captivated by the idea of places lost to time, civilizations that once thrived only to disappear under mysterious circumstances. These vanished locales, often cloaked in myth and speculation, tap into a deep-seated curiosity about what once was and what secrets might still lie hidden. Atlantis stands as the quintessential example of such a lost land, its name synonymous with vanished glory and profound mystery. The legend speaks of an island continent, a powerful naval force, and a society of immense wealth and technological prowess, all of which succumb to a swift and cataclysmic end. This narrative resonates with our collective imagination, painting a picture of a utopia tragically swept away by forces beyond human control. The very concept of lost lands itself carries an undeniable romantic appeal. It suggests that history is not fully written, that unexplored chapters might still await discovery beneath the earth or ocean. Our source material defines lost lands quite simply: islands or continents believed to have existed in prehistory, which then disappeared due to catastrophic geological phenomena. This definition provides a scientific framework for what often feels purely fantastical. Consider the persistent rumors of ancient Egyptian ruins buried deep beneath the Sahara, or the whispers of legendary Hy-Brasil, an island said to appear only once every 7 years off the coast of Ireland. These tales, much like Atlantis, fuel expeditions and spark endless debates among scholars and adventurers alike. The allure often comes from the dramatic contrast between an advanced society and its sudden, inexplicable demise. This abrupt end leaves behind an irresistible void, a puzzle begging to be solved. An entire continent, rich with culture and innovation, simply vanishes. The implication of such a loss is staggering, forcing us to consider the fragility of even the most sophisticated human endeavors in the face of nature's immense power. It also offers a tantalizing thought. Perhaps fragments of their wisdom, or remnants of their structures, still exist, waiting for discovery. The prospect of uncovering such a profound secret keeps the dream of Atlantis and other lost lands alive in our collective consciousness. This blend of geological power and human endeavor makes these stories truly irresistible. The story of Atlantis as we know it originates not from ancient maps or archaeological finds, but from the philosophical dialogues of one specific ancient Greek writer, Plato. His works, Timaeus and Critias, penned around 360 BC, introduced the island of Atlantis as a powerful, technologically sophisticated naval empire. Plato describes it as situated beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which many interpret as the Strait of Gibraltar, suggesting a location in the Atlantic Ocean. This placement immediately sets Atlantis apart, positioning it at the very edge of the known ancient world, adding to its mysterious and grand scale. Plato's account details how Atlantis launched an invasion against ancient Athens, an ideal state described by the philosopher himself. However, Athens successfully repelled the Atlantean forces, demonstrating the superiority of its own moral and governmental systems. Following this defeat, and as a punishment for its increasing arrogance and corruption, Atlantis was said to be swallowed by the ocean in a single day and night of misfortune. This dramatic collapse serves a clear purpose within Plato's philosophical framework. It illustrates the dangers of imperialistic ambition and the eventual triumph of virtue over vice. Essentially, Atlantis was a cautionary tale, a narrative device rather than a historical record in Plato's original intent. Yet, despite its clear philosophical origins, Plato's vivid description captured the imagination of countless generations. The details he provided, from the advanced architecture to the concentric rings of the capital city, were so compelling that many began to treat his story not as a fable, but as a historical account. Over time, the subtle distinction between philosophical allegory and literal truth blurred, transforming Atlantis from a cautionary myth into a relentless historical quest. People became convinced that somewhere, a physical island once existed, mirroring Plato's descriptions. The very idea that such a detailed narrative could be entirely fictional seemed almost unthinkable to subsequent generations, perhaps suggesting a slight over-eagerness to find ancient wonders. The myth's journey from a philosophical allegory to a popular legend highlights the power of storytelling and how a well-crafted narrative can transcend its initial purpose. What began as a tool for ethical discourse became the greatest archaeological mystery that never was, inspiring countless books, films, and even pseudo-scientific theories. This transformation underscores humanity's deep desire to believe in grand, lost histories, even when the evidence points elsewhere. But the story of a lost, advanced civilization is more than just ancient philosophy. It also echoes real-world events that can literally make land disappear. Our source material defines lost lands as islands or continents that existed during prehistory, but disappeared as a result of catastrophic geological phenomena. This phrasing is crucial because it moves the discussion from pure fantasy to the realm of scientific possibility. Earth's surface is a dynamic system, constantly reshaped by powerful forces that operate on timescales far beyond human comprehension. These natural processes can indeed cause entire land masses to vanish, making the concept of a lost land grounded in geological reality. Such events are infrequent but immensely destructive, capable of altering landscapes permanently and profoundly. One of the primary culprits behind disappearing lands is volcanic activity, particularly what scientists call Plinian-type eruptions. These are among the most powerful and explosive types of volcanic events, characterized by massive columns of ash and gas that can reach tens of kilometers into the stratosphere. Imagine a column so immense it dwarfs anything man-made, ejecting material at velocities that defy belief. These eruptions are also notorious for producing widespread ashfall, which can bury vast areas, and pyroclastic flows, superheated currents of gas and rock that race down volcanic slopes at astonishing speeds, incinerating everything in their path. A Plinian eruption is not merely a mountain spitting fire. It is a fundamental reordering of the local environment. Beyond the immediate devastation, these eruptions often lead to the collapse of the volcano's caldera, forming a massive basin that fills with seawater. When the land supporting an island literally caves in on itself, an entire landmass can sink beneath the waves, sometimes rapidly. Earthquakes and tsunamis further compound the destruction. Powerful seismic shifts can cause coastal areas to subside, permanently lowering land relative to sea level, or trigger immense ocean waves that inundate and erode shorelines. A large enough tsunami can reshape coastlines, washing away settlements and even entire islands, leaving little trace of their former existence. For example, the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, while not sinking land, demonstrated the sheer destructive power of ocean waves on coastal infrastructure. Another less dramatic but equally effective geological phenomenon is gradual subsidence. Over long periods, tectonic plates can shift, causing land to slowly sink below sea level. While not a single day and night event, it can still result in previously inhabited areas becoming submerged. The cumulative effect of these various geological forces illustrates that the disappearance of lands is not just a mythic possibility, but a documented, albeit rare, geological fact. The Earth itself holds the power to create and erase land, a humbling reminder of our transient presence on its surface. While Plato's Atlantis remains firmly in the realm of legend, there is a very real, well-documented historical event that perfectly embodies the catastrophic geological phenomena capable of making an island disappear. This event is the Minoan eruption of the Santorini volcano. Our source material precisely dates this event to 1627 1 BC. This was a catastrophe of a Plinian-type eruption, occurring on an island in the Aegean Sea. This ancient cataclysm reshaped the geography of the region and had profound impacts on the thriving Bronze Age civilizations nearby, particularly the Minoans of Crete. Before the eruption, Santorini was a single, larger volcanic island, home to a significant settlement known today as Akrotiri, a bustling port city comparable in importance to Pompeii. However, unlike Pompeii, which was buried, much of ancient Santorini was utterly annihilated and submerged. The sheer scale of the Minoan eruption was staggering. It's estimated to have been one of the largest volcanic events in human history. This eruption was many times more powerful than the 1883 eruption of Krakatoa, an event which famously generated global climate effects and devastating tsunamis. This ancient event truly represents a geological force of immense magnitude. The eruption sequence would have been terrifying. Initial explosions would have sent massive ash plumes high into the atmosphere, blanketing the surrounding sea and land for hundreds of kilometers. This dark rain of ash would have rendered entire areas uninhabitable for years, suffocating crops and collapsing roofs. Following these initial phases, the volcano's magma chamber collapsed, leading to the formation of the dramatic caldera we see today. This collapse would have triggered enormous tsunamis, some estimated to be over 100 meters high, that would have radiated across the Aegean Sea, smashing into coastlines and devastating coastal settlements, including those on Crete, just 110 kilometers away. The impact on shipping and trade routes would have been immediate and catastrophic, isolating entire communities. Archaeological evidence from Akrotiri shows a city largely evacuated before the final, most destructive phase, suggesting some warnings may have preceded the worst of the eruption. However, the island itself was irrevocably transformed, with much of its landmass sinking beneath the waves. The once single island was fractured into a crescent shape, forming the caldera that defines Santorini today. It's a stark geological monument to the power of a Plinian eruption to literally make a landmass vanish, echoing the very core description of a lost land from ancient accounts. Understanding this real-world cataclysm brings us incredibly close to the heart of the Atlantis mystery, offering a powerful, tangible explanation for the legend's enduring grip. The uncanny parallels between Plato's legend of Atlantis and the real-world Minoan eruption of Santorini have led many scholars and enthusiasts to propose a compelling hypothesis. Could the dramatic destruction of Santorini, a flourishing Bronze Age civilization, have served as the historical kernel for Plato's philosophical allegory? While Plato placed Atlantis far to the west, beyond the Pillars of Hercules, the striking similarity of a sophisticated island culture vanishing catastrophically due to geological forces is hard to ignore. This theory suggests that the memory of the Santorini disaster, passed down through oral traditions and possibly ancient Egyptian records, eventually reached Plato. He then adapted it to fit his narrative purpose, perhaps embellishing it with mythical details and relocating it to a more distant, exotic setting to emphasize its legendary status. Consider the core elements: a prosperous island civilization, a sudden and cataclysmic event, and its ultimate submergence beneath the waves. These are not merely coincidences. They align strikingly with both the definition of a lost land and the specifics of the Santorini eruption. The single day and night of misfortune from Plato's account perfectly encapsulates the rapid, devastating impact of a massive Plinian volcanic eruption combined with earthquake-induced tsunamis. Such an event would have been etched deeply into the collective memory of any surviving peoples in the Aegean, creating a powerful story passed down through generations. It is easy to imagine how this traumatic experience could evolve into a myth of divine retribution, or a powerful moralizing tale. Of course, important discrepancies exist. Plato describes Atlantis as a vast continent, not a single island, and its timeline predates the Minoan eruption by thousands of years in his narrative. These differences are often attributed to the imperfect nature of oral transmission, the embellishment inherent in storytelling, and Plato's own artistic license as a philosopher crafting a didactic narrative. It's not about a precise historical match, but rather the inspiration, the seed of truth from which a grander story grew. The hypothesis is not that Santorini is Atlantis, but rather that the catastrophic destruction of Santorini inspired the Atlantis legend. It offers a tangible explanation for why such a dramatic tale resonated so powerfully and persisted for so long. The idea that such a profound story could stem from an actual devastating event provides a satisfying, albeit still speculative, resolution to one of history's greatest riddles. It elevates the legend beyond pure fantasy, rooting it in the geological dynamism of our planet and the powerful human impulse to tell stories about profound loss. The legend of Atlantis continues to captivate us, a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with lost worlds and the mysteries they conceal. While the existence of Plato's exact island remains elusive, the powerful tale it weaves is clearly rooted in a very real geological truth. Islands and civilizations can indeed vanish due to catastrophic natural phenomena. The Minoan eruption of Santorini in 1627 BC stands as a stark, historical reminder of just how devastating these events can be, offering a plausible, if still speculative, inspiration for the ancient myth. Our planet is a dynamic canvas, constantly creating and erasing, shaping both its physical features and the stories we tell about them. Atlantis, whether a philosophical allegory or a faded memory of a true disaster, reminds us that even the most advanced societies are ultimately vulnerable to the immense forces of nature. The search for Atlantis isn't just about finding a lost city. It's about understanding our own history, our relationship with the natural world, and the power of stories to preserve, transform, and even mystify the past.